Hi everyone, we're Mimicker, here to introduce all kinds of knowledge, even the stuff we didn't know about. We mentioned the urban legends in episode 9, and this time we will talk something cool. SCP Foundation.
That's right. So today we are doing a deep dive into the SCP Foundation. And for anyone who isn't already deep down this rabbit hole, it's this huge, collaborative fictional universe.
It's all built around this idea of a secret transnational organization, and their whole job is just to hide the impossible from the rest of us.
So our mission today is to sift through all of it, the wiki, the stories, everything, to really figure out what these anomalies are and why this kind of, clinical horror is so compelling.
And it all really centers on this core concept the Foundation calls the veil.
The veil, right.
I mean, you listening right now, you think you live in a world that makes sense, a rational world. The veil is that illusion. It's fragile.
And the Foundation's job is to make sure that illusion never, ever breaks. They operate completely in the shadows.
Completely. Outside of any government oversight, which means they have to be willing to do, well, anything. So we're talking about an organization that has to sacrifice any kind of moral high ground just to keep the rest of us sane.
Precisely. Their entire mission is boiled down to just 3 words. It's their motto: secure, contain, protect.
It sounds so simple, but it's really this cold, pragmatic order.
It is. They are the shepherds of our ignorance, and they will commit the most unethical acts imaginable to keep humanity safe from the truth.
Okay, let's unpack the history here, because the origin story is almost as weird as the anomalies themselves. You read these files and they feel so authentic.
They do, like they were leaked from a classified server somewhere.
Exactly, but that's not where it started at all, is it?
Not even close. What's so fascinating is how grassroots it all was. The actual birthplace was the X board on 4chan, the paranormal board.
4chan, in 2007.
Yep. It started as just one single anonymous post.
The birthplace of internet chaos created bureaucratic dread. I love it. And that first post was SCP-173.
The sculpture, yeah. The statue that kills you if you look away.
Yeah.
But the creature wasn't the stroke of genius.
It was the format.
It was the format. It was written like this dry, clinical, totally boring bureaucratic report. It listed containment procedures, staffing needs, all of it. All the horror was just between the lines.
And that tone immediately blurred the line between what was real and what was fiction, especially because the photo they used.
Right. The photo wasn't some CGI monster. It was a real sculpture. It's called Untitled 2004 by a Japanese artist, Izumi Kata.
Which gave it this incredible layer of authenticity. You see it and you think, wait, is this a real thing? It felt like a leaked document.
Mm-hmm. And he later, graciously let them use the image for non-commercial purposes, which was huge. But that initial feeling was the key.
So how did it go from one creepy post on 4chan to this massive universe?
It was really a few accidental strokes of genius. The anonymity of 4chan meant the idea had to survive on its own merit. There was no author to get attached to.
But 4chan is temporary. Things disappear. They needed a permanent home.
Exactly. So in 2008, the community moved everything to a wiki. And a wiki is, it's built for this kind of collaboration.
Thousands of people building a world together.
But here's the real catalyst. The thing that changed everything. It was a legal footnote. The wiki's default license was Creative Commons. CC BY-SA 3.0.
Oh, wow. So everything was open source from the beginning.
Basically, yeah.
Oh.
That one little legal detail accidentally created the world's first open source horror franchise. It wasn't just allowed to be remixed. It was encouraged.
And that's why we have the games, the films, the YouTube channels. It just exploded because anyone could build on it without getting a cease and desist letter.
It's the perfect feedback loop for making a modern myth.
Okay, so we have this massive, morally gray organization. Let's talk about their doctrine, the methods they use.
It all comes down to their classification system. And the best way to understand it is something they call the lockbox test.
Right, and it's not about how dangerous something is, but how hard it is to contain.
Exactly. So you have the first class, safe.
Safe means you lock it in a box, you walk away, and nothing happens. It's predictable.
Right. A nuclear button is deadly, but it's safe. It's not going to try to get out of the box on its own.
Then you have Euclid.
And that's where uncertainty comes in. You lock a Euclid object in a box, and you're not sure what's going to happen. It could be sentient. It could be unpredictable.
So it needs constant monitoring.
Constant resources.
Yeah.
And then you have Keter.
Keter is the worst case scenario. You lock it in a box and it is absolutely 100% going to try and escape.
And it will probably succeed. Keter class objects require massive resources, complex procedures, And you just assume containment is always on the verge of failing.
And it gets even crazier than that because there are these other more esoteric classes.
Like thaumiel. A thaumiel object is an anomaly the Foundation itself uses to contain other anomalies.
So you're fighting monsters with other monsters.
You are. It's the ultimate gamble. And then there's the one you never want to see, Apollyon.
A poly means it's over.
Pretty much. The anomaly can't be contained, and it's probably causing a world-ending scenario right now. The goal is no longer containment, it's just mitigation.
And this whole system is run by a really strict hierarchy. At the very top, you've got the O5 Council.
The 13 overseers. Nobody knows who they are.
Right.
They run the entire organization from the deepest shadows.
And at the absolute bottom, you have the Foundation's darkest secret.
The D-class personnel.
Disposable. The official policy is that they're expendable. They're usually death row inmates used as, well, human lab rats.
It's the rawest example of their moral calculus, the good of the many. And they send D-class in to test these horrifying anomalies.
And in the middle, you have the researchers, the agents,
Yeah.
the people actually doing the work, capturing these things, running the sites.
And administering amnestics, the memory-wiping drugs they give into any civilian who sees too much, just to patch up the veil.
It's all so chilling. And so much of that horror comes from the writing style, that clinical tone you mentioned.
It's the key. Describing something utterly insane using boring scientific language. It strips out the emotion and makes it feel real.
Like you're reading a report you were never supposed to see.
And it confirms that deep down fear that the universe is just not stable.
Okay, let's bring some of that horror to life. Let's talk about some of the most famous case files, starting with the one that started it all.
SCP-173, the sculpture.
The mechanics are so simple but so terrifying. It can't move as long as you're looking at it. Direct line of sight.
But the second you break that line of sight, even for a blink, it moves instantly and snaps your neck.
I mean, the containment procedure alone is nightmare fuel. 3 people have to be in the room, all coordinating their blinks, so someone always has eyes on it.
Imagine that pressure. And then there's that detail about the floor of its cell being covered in blood and feces, and no one knows why.
Okay, so if 173 is about psychological pressure, SCP-096, the Shy Guy, is a whole different kind of terror.
It's an info hazard.
Which means the danger is in the information itself.
Right. If you see its face, and it doesn't matter how, in person, a photo, a video, it triggers an unstoppable rage.
And it will hunt you down no matter where you are.
It'll cross continents, oceans. The files say they tried to stop it with heavy machine guns, anti-tank rockets, and nothing even slowed it down. All to kill one person who saw a picture.
That is terrifying. Then you have the definition of Keter, SCP-682.
The hard-to-destroy reptile. This thing is basically just pure, concentrated hatred for all life in the body of a giant lizard.
And the Foundation has tried everything to kill it. The termination log is one of the most famous documents on the site.
It is. It's just a long, long list of failures. They dunked it in acid. It grew acid-proof armor. They threw other reality-bending SCPs at it. It just adapted.
Its whole thing is near total adaptability. It's an unsolvable problem.
Right. But not all of them are, rage monsters. Some are way weirder, like SCP-3008.
The infinite IKEA.
Yes. It looks like a normal IKEA from the outside. But once you go in and lose sight of the doors, you're trapped in an endless extra-dimensional furniture store.
And people are trapped in there.
Oh, yeah. They form tribes. They build forts out of furniture and scavenge for meatballs. And at night, they have to hide from the staff.
The faceless employees, the 3008 twos.
Exactly. Aggressive, faceless things that hunt you in the dark. It's survival horror in an IKEA.
But the universe needs some light, too. It can't all be dread.
Which is why you have SCP-999, the tickle monster.
The tickle monster, it's just this blob of orange goo.
A friendly, gelatinous blob that radiates pure joy. It cures depression, PTSD. Its touch causes overwhelming euphoria. It's literally weaponized happiness.
And it had that famous interaction with 682, the hate lizard.
It did. It actually made SCP-682.
Chuckle.
For just a moment, it wasn't full of hate. It shows that even that can be breached.
Okay, and we have to mention one more. The one that's pure philosophical terror, SCP-5000.
Why? Yeah, this one isn't a creature. It's a story found in the logs of an abandoned power suit.
And the story suggests that the Foundation, the protectors of humanity, suddenly, for some unknown reason, decided to exterminate the entire human race.
The question the file leaves you with is, why? What could they have discovered that was so awful that wiping out all of humanity was the only ethical choice?
It suggests that our existence, our consciousness, might be the real anomaly.
And the Foundation carries out its work, using these elite teams, the Mobile Task Forces, or MTFs.
Right, these are the special ops units for dealing with the weird.
You have teams like Alpha 1, the Red Right Hand. They're the O5 Council's personal secret police. They answer to no one else.
Then you have the ones you see in the games, like Epsilon 11, Nine-Tailed Fox.
They're the internal security. When a Keter gets loose and a whole site is compromised, they're the ones who go in to clean up the mess.
But the Foundation isn't alone in the shadows. There's this whole secret geopolitical landscape.
A whole shadow war. You have their direct rivals, the Chaos Insurgency.
They're ex-Foundation agents who defected. Now they want to capture anomalies and weaponize them.
Then you have their philosophical opposite, the Global Occult Coalition, the GOC.
They're sanctioned by the UN, and their belief is simple. If it's weird, destroy it.
Total opposite of the Foundation's contain mantra. They see an anomaly, they terminate it. No questions asked.
On the other side of that, you have the Serpent's Hand.
Right. They're activists. They believe anomalies are living beings that deserve freedom and that the Foundation are just cruel jailers. They operate out of a place called the Wanderers Library.
And of course, you have the capitalists, Marshall, Carter, and Dark Ltd.
An exclusive club for the super rich that treats anomalies like luxury goods. They auction them off. For them, it's all about profit.
It's this incredibly rich, fleshed-out world. But what makes it stick? Why did it become a modern myth?
Well, it taps into really old fears. I mean, SCP-173 and its line of sight thing, that's the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. It's the Japanese game Daruma-san ga Koronda, Don't Look Away.
It's that primal fear of what moves when you're not looking.
Exactly. And SCP-096, the Shy Guy, is a ghost for the digital age. Its curse spreads through images, just like Stothko from The Ring or Slenderman.
And the whole project just oozed so much to H.P. Lovecraft.
A massive debt. The cosmic horror, human insignificance, all of it. But where Lovecraft used all this purple prose to describe the indescribable, the Foundation uses restraint. And that cold, clinical tone is what makes it feel so modern and real.
And the big tipping point for it going mainstream was a video game.
Oh, absolutely. The 2012 indie game, SCP Containment Breach, it took that don't blink mechanic of 173 and made it the core of the gameplay. It was terrifying.
And it blew up on YouTube. Streamers like Markiplier played it, and suddenly millions of people who'd never read a wiki were exposed to the lore.
And that opened the floodgates. Now you have multiplayer games like SCP Secret Laboratory and these amazing narrator channels like the Vulgan that make it so accessible.
You can even see its influence in mainstream games. I mean, the game control is basically one giant love letter to the SCP Foundation.
The Federal Bureau of Control. It's the same concept, a secret bureaucracy containing the paranormal.
So you've got this self-sustaining cycle. The wiki creates stories, creators make games and videos from them. Those videos bring new fans in.
And those new fans go back to the wiki and start writing their own articles. All because of that Creative Commons license.
So what's the core appeal then? Why do we find this comforting in a weird way?
I think it's the idea of order. The universe is chaotic and terrifying, but the Foundation suggests that someone is trying to manage it. Someone is trying to impose human rationality on cosmic madness.
It's a safe sandbox to explore our fears about authority and the unknown.
Exactly.
But the Foundation's actions, the D-class, the secrecy, the cold calculations in something like SCP-5000, they force you to think about our own world, about real-world authority.
It makes you ask if the people making decisions behind closed doors are really protecting the greater good, or if they're just losing control one bad decision at a time.
It really leaves you with a final provocative thought. The next time you see something truly inexplicable, something that just breaks the rules of reality, that flicker you can't explain, a story that makes no sense, you have to wonder.
Are we managing the world? Or is everything just one blink away from becoming an uncontained anomaly?
Thanks for tuning in to this episode. If you enjoyed our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on the notification bell.